On October 28th, 2021, I received a message from a viewer of mine saying that his Instagram account was hacked by a crypto scammer. I decided to make it my personal mission to get revenge on this scammer, and now, a few months later, I have complete access to his laptop, including his webcam and super admin to his scam webpage. It's every single day that I get dozens of emails, tweets and Discord messages from viewers of mine that ask for help because they either got scammed, hacked or are being harassed online. Most of the time I'm unable to help, but since I was already investigating crypto scammers on Instagram, I felt like it would be possible to go after this scammer and successfully catch him. A lot of scammers don't even use computers, which makes tracking them very hard, but I knew that these guys do, and it also helped that this viewer directly messaged me on my Patreon, which gave him a slight privilege since he was supporting the channel. Like I mentioned, the conversation started with him asking for my help with his hacked Instagram account, after which I advised him to contact Instagram support, and I also asked him for the scammer's contact details. He told me his hacked account was one for his photography and YouTube channel, and that Instagram support that turned out to be pretty useless to him. The only thing I could do now was message the scammer himself, but if I did this directly on the hacked account, it would be pretty suspicious, so instead I decided to message him on his fake crypto mentor account that he was promoting on all of the profiles he managed to hack.
Hi everyone, I invested 300 in Bitcoin mining and received back 6,500.
It's pretty sad to see that he forces victims to do this just so that he can go and scam other people with these videos, and he never actually gives them their account or money back. Anyways, I made my way over to the account that was being promoted and went to work on this guy. I'm not going to give you a rundown of our entire conversation, but my first message to him was one day after my viewer's request, asking the scammer for help with investing. A quick summary of our 70-day conversation after this initial message is that I asked the guy for help, tried to get access to his laptop, showed him that I had $15,000 in Bitcoin for him to steal from me, after which he got enticed, fell for my trap, and eventually got himself hacked. After my job was done, I spoke to him a few more times so that he wouldn't get suspicious, but eventually I did break contact, and the scammer didn't really seem to be at peace with losing out on my 15k. You get the point. In the meantime of me slowly trapping the scammer, my viewer did manage to get his account back through Instagram support system.
He's posting on my account, join Bitcoin, and he's messaging all these people. He messaged over 250 people, guys. I kid you not. In order for me to get this account back, I had to have photos on my account. I had to do a 3D scan of my face and everything, and that's when it finally worked.
The way these scammers hack people is that they send you a link in your Instagram DM like this one, and once you click on the link, they either grab your information directly or you have to fill it out yourself. Of course, I myself did not click on any links the scammer sent to me, nor did I give him any details. The only thing I did was get full remote access to his laptop, and the device is now mine. Kind of. The things I did to his device when I caught him slipping makes it so that I can use his computer like it's mine. I started monitoring and researching the scammer and pretty quickly found out that this guy was not working alone. He actually lives in a house full of scammers in the northern Turkish part of Cyprus, and all the guys in that house are of Nigerian nationality.
These guys normally they do online 247.
Yeah, 247.
247. Assistant.
This laptop that I compromised was actually not being used for their Instagram operation, but by one of the hacker's friends who targets YouTube comments instead of Instagram DMs. I've already shown this scam before in one of my previous videos, but just a quick recap. These guys will have a few different fake accounts on YouTube with generic names and pictures to make it look like they are real people. They then post a comment under a video that is related to crypto about a mentor that made them rich, reply to that comment with more fake accounts and buy likes so that people think the story is real. After you message them to get rich quick, they basically tell you to dump in all your money to their webpage so that they can control your assets and make you millions of dollars, supposedly. What they actually do is that they are not traders, but traitors that will give you fake profits on their site to lure you to dump in even more money and leave with everything as soon as you're bankrupt. This might seem stupid and something you and I wouldn't fall for, but easy money like love makes blind, and this scam is actually highly successful. In a minute I will show you how much this specific group actually makes, but let's first take a look at the laptop to see what we can find on there. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when thinking of a laptop? Well, for me, it's the webcam. Most of the time, the scammer wasn't using this laptop, but it was turned on. He just simply left it stranded somewhere in his apartment. Here, for example, we can see that he left us in his bedroom. The next moment, we could be in his kitchen, but most of the time, he left his laptop in the living room. This meant that I was able to see and hear what this group of scammers did all day, besides scamming, which was playing the football game FIFA against each other. It was quite boring listening to them playing the game all day, but sometimes things could get pretty heated.
Why
you give number? Why you give number?
Bro, you never marry her. As I say, you never marry her. You will get girlfriend. Why you go to do so that girls for outside? Now if I go to deceive ourselves, say we be man, say we be man.
Shut up, man.
Get my girl.
See,
if they don't go get for one day, I be say her life no good.
My problem is why they share number? Why they share number?
No, she don't fit share. That go down what they'll stay in a difference.
That's
the difference.
Of course, after having an argument, it is time to make amends, and 5 minutes later, these guys were already best friends again.
That's the way. It done my
Which I love.
Even though that person, like, if anybody they unbox it, then that person unbox it, and you just say, I'm going to
Being inside of the house and seeing their interior all day did not really help my investigation, but it does get interesting when these guys themselves get in front of the camera. The guy we see on screen now is the main user of this computer, of which I got every single piece of information you could possibly think of, but before we get into their identity, let's first locate these guys, as in their exact location. I've already said that this group is operating out of the northern Turkish part of Cyprus, specifically Kyrenia, which I can deduce based on their IP address, but that's a bit too inaccurate for me. Normally I would get an exact location based on a technological analysis on the scammers' their Wi-Fi access points, but this time that was not even necessary, as a simple look at their available Wi-Fi spots already reveals that they live very close to something called Residence Net House. This place turns out to be a hotel in a very nice area near the beach of Kyrenia, but just to confirm that this is indeed true, I still did run the API scan and it's indeed correct that they live close to this hotel. Since this residence does not accommodate apartments, but simply just hotel rooms, they do not live there, but they still do have Wi-Fi access, so their apartment has to be in the complex next to the hotel. This building is to the northwest, and we can see from these two pictures that the windows match, and I think I've also found this bigger window on the left in their living room. From this other picture we can see the same building, and we can also look at the inside of the apartments this time, and this matches perfectly as well. So if these guys are all from Nigeria, why are they gathered in Cyprus? Well, the northern part of Cyprus is owned by Turkey, and thus there's no Europol, no regulation. They can simply just scam people in a nice, well-developed country with mountains, beaches, nice weather, and fairly cheap prices. Alright, enough about their location. Like I said before, this is the main user of the laptop, and his name is Daniel, 26 years old, born in Abraka Delta, Nigeria on April 21st, 1995. He used to attend Delta State University, and so I have found dozens of other pieces of information on this scammer. This is because he has been using his laptop since July of 2019 and uses it, besides scamming, as a personal device as well. I cannot discuss everything that I found on there, otherwise this video will be 5 hours long, but the most interesting thing that I did discover is something that no other YouTuber has shown before, which is the admin panel to his fraudulent webpage, the heart of a scamming operation. There is pretty much 3 parts to this scam: the part where he's posting comments on YouTube or other platforms to get in contact with people, the part where he's actually talking to people, and the part where he steals their money. We've already seen the first part, so here's the second. It's Daniel actually chatting with real people to try and rob them of their life savings. At the time of my investigation, he only had 2 active clients, which we can see on screen now, Trevor and Fadi. These 2 guys are both from Canada, and I actually knew Fadi already because Daniel had pictures of his face and identity card on his hard drive. There's not much more to the second part. It's just a scammer keeping the victims enticed so that he can steal more and more money from them. The actual magic happens here on Daniel's admin panel. But how am I gonna get in? Well, I ran a password recovery on his laptop and I found over 150 passwords on his browser, including the one to his admin dashboard. This time it was an ethical hacker that went after a scammer and grabbed his information, but it could also be someone with bad intentions stealing the information of an innocent person. What you can see on my Google Chrome right now is something that might prevent you or your loved ones from being hacked and scammed, like the increase of viewers in my inbox. This extension is called Guardio, and it's a fairly new program that basically acts as an antivirus, but it's completely focused on your browser. Most old-fashioned antiviruses have not even adapted to the cloud era and do not protect you against browser threats, and Guardio is there to resolve this. It will basically act as a silent bodyguard by checking every site, page and service you visit. All the while it also cleans your browser, speeds it up and protects your private information. Even if you're really good yourself at spotting fake web pages like this pop-up scam, there's also some new hacking methods, including a silent installation of malicious extensions that will steal all your saved information like passwords, addresses, credit card details, and it's also able to spy on your browsing activity. Guardio will block all of this and provide you with a personal dashboard that shows you exactly how it's protecting you. It's super easy to prevent this hacking and scamming from happening to yourself and your loved ones on up to 5 devices with just one click. there is no configuration. You will get a free browser scan and 7-day free trial on desktop or laptop with my link guard.io/scambaiter, which can be found on top of the description and comment section. Again, please make sure you protect your browser from hackers and scammers by going to guard.io/scambaiter and get a free browser scan to see if someone isn't already spying on you. Luckily, the scammer did not protect himself from hackers, so I was able to get into his main fraud panel. Once you log into the webpage, you land here on the dashboard, of which the numbers are kind of irrelevant and mostly incorrect, but on the left hand side we do have 9 other options we can choose from. We can go to the second option, and then we are able to add, change and delete investment plans that victims can choose from this webpage. And in a minute I am going to choose to delete this and also ruin all other system settings so nobody else will fall for the scam again. The third option shows us all the victims that have created an account. They get a $5 starter bonus, which of course is just a number again. Nothing we see here is actual money. And with the victims I have the option to see all their information, which makes it quite easy for me to save them, because as soon as someone new joins I just call them or email them to warn them not to put in any money to this scam. This page also comes up with a bunch of options that you can do to each user, so I could block them, I could turn off their trade, I can credit or debit their balance, so this is how the scammers give them fake profits. I can reset their password, clear their account, add trading history, delete them, edit their details, send them a message or even get access to their account. In total there's 23 users, but only 21 are actual victims because the first 2 accounts are testers, of which the first one was made by the developer of this webpage in November of 2019, and Daniel started using it on January 10th of 2022, so about 3 months now. The third option is where we can find the actual money that this webpage has made in the past 3 months. It says manage DW, aka manage deposits and withdrawals, which shows me all deposits that victims have made and the withdrawals through which they are trying to get their money back. The total amount of deposits made on this specific webpage is $11,170, and we can see from the proofs of payment that this is actual victim money that has been lost. The most recent victims are Fadi, Trevor, Matilda and Saeed, but from the withdrawal page we can see that Matilda wants her money back because she realized it was a scam. Of course, the scammer did not give any money back. They only do so every now and then to show the victims that their profits are real and that they should dump in more money. It's basically just an investment for scammers to give some money back to victims. The total amount of money given back is $2,530, so the net profit of these scammers in 3 months has been $8,640 from just one of their operations. We can also see that Trevor, as per recent, has also found out that it's a scam and wants his money back as well, and this is because me and my team called him and Fadi to warn them about the scam.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? Is this Fadi?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you spoke to one of my people, right?
Yeah, she called me. She explained everything. But you get rid of my driver license from its computer?
Yeah, man, I will make sure. Like, don't worry about that. I'll get rid of it. I hope you didn't lose too much money. Like...
No. Like, I'm not like very worried about the money as long as he don't steal my identity and do some bad things that I don't do. So I don't want to get in trouble. Other than that, I only lost like 2,000, but like I don't know, if you don't call me, I never know he's scammer. I thought he's good guy and all of that. I would go with him. I think he would just go until I feel some point that I am like I don't want to do it anymore. Then he will just like okay.
Yeah, then he will leave with all your money, right?
Like I was thinking to get my friend also on this. Oh my God, that would be close to get my friend also onto this. Then other friend into this. Then I will be like so. Fuck, man. Yeah, so thank you so much. I don't know, like if you didn't call me, I will maybe lose maybe 20,000 more. Maybe I'll get my friend also, so I will be like in a whole different world, like.
Yeah, man, I'm glad I got to prevent that, because that's like the worst thing that can happen is you lose money, okay, but if you ruin your life by getting your friends, your family, losing all your life saving, everything, man, that's the worst thing that can happen. The rest of the panel is not really that interesting. We can see that the scammers are able to make an account for you if you give them your details. In my conversation with some of the scammers, we can see them asking for these details, probably because they think victims take too long with making the accounts themselves. Then the front end controls to change all the settings for the front of the page, and settings is to change everything from within the web page itself. From here we can see that this panel is not made by Daniel, but just a template he needed to fill out because he forgot to change some of the default text. If we Google that specific sentence, create your investment management platform in minutes and 3 seconds, we find 930 other scam web pages that have bought their template off of the same developer. This is not a coincidence. We can see that their login pages are all very similar. Suspiciously similar, and that's basically all there is to this webpage. It's fairly simple to understand because these kinds of scammers are usually not that tech savvy, and like I said, this webpage is purely a template that hundreds of crypto scammers use. Like the title reads, this crypto scammer hacked my viewer and I got revenge. So where's the revenge part? Well, there's now plenty of ways that I can get revenge on Daniel. I could perhaps use his 157 passwords I found against him and do what he did to my viewer, sure. but this would be against usual policy and probably some laws as well. I thought it would be better for me to hit him where it hurts and contact his family members on Facebook to warn them that Daniel was scamming and ruining people's lives. This is exactly what I did. I wrote a bunch of them a formal message explaining that their beloved son, brother, cousin is doing harmful and illegal things over in Cyprus. This is one of the methods that you guys very highly suggested to me in the comments, and there's one suggestion even more popular, which is reporting these guys to the police. Even though I'm almost certain that the police will not do anything, I still did make a police report against Daniel and his group, and I hope to hear back from them very soon. As promised, I also destroyed his fraudulent webpage by changing their investment plans to say this is scam, and I then turned off trading for all his users, gave them each $1 million to show that the webpage is fake, and I individually sent them all an email message with the webpage's official contact email warning them that this is indeed a scam. Then it was time to mess up the webpage itself. I changed Daniel's admin passwords and then went ahead and changed every single setting you could possibly think of. For example, I changed the currency to the Nigerian naira, I changed the testimonials to say that it's a scam, and I even changed their address to Daniel's actual home address so people know where to get their money back. Literally 2 minutes after I performed this instruction, Daniel himself tried to log into his admin panel on his laptop and he found the mess that I left behind. He had switched to Windows 11 a couple of days before this, and because of this I could not hear his microphone audio anymore, but I very quickly found a resolution and could then finally listen to his post-discovery reaction.
Even my passwords, the person don't change my passwords.
Change admin password.
You change them. All of them, right? The person write scam. All of them. I mean, I don't tell people finish like this. I cancel everything.
Good, just be careful now. They more careful.
After being anxious for a while, Daniel came back to rationality, called the developer of the webpage saying it was hacked, and then this developer tried changing things back to normal. However, this was not going to be easy, as I kept fighting them by, for example, first changing the webpage back to display Daniel's full name.
See, Alpha. Wait, see. The person know my name. You can't put Daniel as a scam.
For another place again.
No, I take everything the person do. You can't say you put on Daniel as a scam. Okay, now client savvy.
When they restored it again, I changed it to his address and then to Karenya Police, but eventually I got kicked off the panel and they took back control. In the meantime of them restoring the access, Daniel was brainstorming about how this could have possibly happened and came to the conclusion that someone in his group might have betrayed him.
You don't give my logins to somebody. I did this thing, I don't change them. That person from this house give somebody my login, make it down. Bravo for the person. No, I think it's Sam now. It is somebody in this house. The person used my laptop, and the only person I've been giving my laptop to use is same Ewere. People when I put for house, they won't kill me, bro. People when I put for house, bro. I they pay money, but I they pay 450k every month, bro. I'm not in a good mood there. You see, somebody in this house too. Somebody went into this house too. My broker putting it that I'm a scam. Maybe see, let me just be honest with you. The truth of the matter is that somebody want to bring me down in this Cyprus. Somebody is envying me.
I lost access to his webpage, but I still did have a plan B to get some more of that sweet revenge and rub salt in the wounds of the scammer. A few days before this takedown, I had messaged Daniel as a victim, again pretending like I had $15,000 in Bitcoin for him to take from me, but very unfortunately for him, this client wanted to deposit that $15,000 right at the exact moment that his webpage was still hacked and full of scam warnings. I sent him a message saying that I now realized it was a scam and made him think that he had just lost out on $15,000 to put on the agony of this takedown.
Client say I was about to deposit 15,000. I was about to deposit 15,000. I'm glad someone. Jesus.
I say I was about to trying to create an account, but this is a scam. $15,000. Bros, just forget I won't do new sites. See, I just lose $15,000 just now like this. Just now like this.
After this, not much more happened. The scammers reset their webpage, but I still do have access and backdoors everywhere, so I will keep alerting new victims. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe before clicking off. If you want to support the channel financially, there's a Patreon and PayPal link in the description. Thank you Guardio for sponsoring this video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay cautious. Bye bye.